Okay, just by inspecting the reel, we're taking a visual. We want an even land area width all the way across. If it's not exactly perfect, don't worry about it. You don't want any less than 20% land area versus 80% relief. And that's based on the thickness of the blade. Kind of the standard in the industry is 30% land, 70%. But the more relief angle you want, and the less land area, the longer it's going to take. What you don't want is the reel blade to come to a sharp point, because then it becomes weak. Okay, back in the old days on the single blade grinder, they would put relief on every single blade, bring it to a point, put the bed knife to the reel, and then lap the land area into the reel. So they just ground till it came to a point, and then they would lap the land area in. But you still have a burr on here, and it depends upon the severity of the burr. Conventional wisdom was, well, that's going to come off at some time, and it's going to get in and maybe jam a reel or do something. So there's a couple of ways to get rid of it. You don't want to lose that edge that you just ground in there, but you can take a piece of hardwood and run it the full length of the blade to get rid of it. You could, if you wanted to, just reel the bed knife and just give it a quick lapping, and that'll get rid of it. But this one, we've measured it, and we've got about a 45 degree relief, which is why it took us so long. But we won't do that much of relief. You want optimum about 25 degree relief. And usually it's because that's all you can get.
This is the first grind on these reels.
Yeah.
That's why we were.
And that's why when we started grinding, there was a little relief left, and we were grinding on the top side of the brand new relief, and Deere's putting 25-ish, somewhere in there. So we went 15 degrees past that. So now, here's what happens after the fact. Once we grind the bed knife, put it in, set the reel to bed knife, and do yourself a favor and use a feeler gauge to set that distance. That's a starting point, and it's at least you know you have a gap there. You know what the gap is. As long as it cuts paper all the way across, a single blade of 20-pound copy paper, 20 weight, that's about 2.5 thousandths. If it cuts it cleanly all the way down, you're good to go. But what you've got here is the shape of this reel, because of the way we set up our stone, or the reel. Our grinding motor travels parallel to the tabletop. The fixed roller, in this case, is a front roller sitting on the support rails. We ground the shape of that reel. It may be coned 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 thousandths, but the bottom of that reel is parallel to the bottom of the roller. When you set your reel to bed knife, now the roller is parallel to the reel shaft, to the blades, to the top of the bed knife. When you set your height to cut using the rear adjusters, you're setting your height bar, the bottom of the roller, over your gauge is over the top face of the bed knife. And when you set the height of cut equally on both sides, now you've just paralleled the rear roller to the reel and bed knife to the front roller. And that's what we call total parallel grinding, back to factory specs. Okay, so now, I will say one thing. If you, just for giggles, you can put reel to bed knife on here. Set your gap at 2 thousandths of an inch, and then take your AccuGauge and just take a measurement reading, just as it sits. We move the front roller, we move the back roller. In doing so, we parallel the reel shaft to the travel of stone. Put it all back together, set it up on its hind end, and just take a reading from end to end. You should be within 2 thousandths of an inch parallel on both sides. In other words, you may read 125 here, your reading on this end will be maybe 124, 123, or it could be the same, 125. But it's just that everything starts out parallel. Any questions? Okay, I'm done. We'll see you later. Have a good day.